Abuja, Nigeria's bustling capital, is about to welcome a game changer, a symbol of Africa's rising economic ambition. This is the Afreximbank African Trade Center, the Abuja AATC, a flagship project by the African Export-Import Bank, a futuristic, eco-friendly marvel designed to redefine trade and collaboration on the continent. Today we take you inside this groundbreaking project set to open its doors in late 2025. But this isn't just another skyscraper. It is an architectural embodiment of a bold new vision, a future where Africa trades with itself, with the world, and on its own terms.
Afreximbank views that the trade barriers, and one of the biggest, is the lack of access to trade information. In response to that, our board of directors took a bold commitment in 2018 to actually authorize the establishment of what we call the AATC in acronym, where you are today, to bridge the gap of information, to bridge the gap of information on trade, on investment.
The AATC Twin Towers are being finished by Kappa and D. Alberto. One will house a 148-key 4-star hotel. The other, 6,500 square meters of prime office space, linked by a stunning 9-story atrium with views that inspire big ideas. Vertical green walls purify the air, and eco-conscious design aiming for LEED certification. But the real story lies in its purpose: to connect African economies with African opportunity.
The vision of the Afreximbank Africa Trade Center is to transform Africa's trade through integrated trade services hubs. So we're setting up these trade services hubs across Africa that are going to transform Africa's trade, and that will happen through the provision of a suite of trade services, trade finance, business facilities, and a whole range of other services that will bridge the trade and market information gap, and that will help contribute to higher levels of intra and extra African trade.
At the core of Afreximbank's strategy is the African Continental Free Trade Area, the largest free trade agreement in the world by number of participating countries. But for it to succeed, Africa needs more than policy. It needs places like this.
There will be a similar AATC that is dedicated to French-speaking West Africa, and a network of AATCs across the continent to really focus on specific needs of the different sub-regions. Like these trade centers will form, as Dr. Musange showed, will form a network of trade information, trade services, collaboration, cooperation, and I think ultimately building prosperity for Africa on the continent.
And yet, no bold vision takes root without fertile ground. For Afreximbank, that came in the form of support from Nigeria's federal government.
Afreximbank is also grateful to the government, to the federal government of Nigeria, for granting the land and for being a trade enabler in terms of policies that actually encourage African multilateral financial institutions to pursue their mandates, and ours being the promotion and facilitation of trade.
As the sun sets on Abuja, a new dawn rises for trade, for unity, for Africa, and Afreximbank's answer to the continent's silent crisis, low intra-African trade. The AATC will stand as a beacon of what's possible when vision meets ambition. Nkechi Nana, Arise News, Abuja.